Festival. Amongst other things, they're going to celebrate new water refill stations along 19 kilometres of the Seafront. The festival is planned for May, and it's being run by a former geography teacher who's been working for many years on improving our local environments. Oliver Sterno is community leader for Plastic Free Eastbourne, joins us now. Hi Oliver, morning.
Hello Danny, thanks for this spot.
Yeah, great to talk to you this morning. So you've been working on this for about 3 years. What do you think you managed to achieve, to change? What's your main thrust at the minute?
Well, we've several things really. A couple of years ago we did a parks clean. We've got 34 parks in Eastbourne and we managed to clean every last one of them. We had over 700 volunteers, and as a consequence of that I did a competition with our primary schools. 15 schools took part, and we created a whole load of signboards in 20 of those parks saying, please take your litter home with you. Thank you for keeping our park clean. They're designed by children, primary school, and they're up there all round for people to respond to.
That's amazing.
Another thing we've done is adopt a beach. It's unique, I think, in the world, because we've got 94 beaches here, all divided by groins, all numbered, so that people can adopt a particular beach, and they've all been adopted. And so people can go, and during COVID-19 times even, they go down to their own beach and clean it. It's not, they don't own it, of course, but they can go and look after the welfare. Some have chosen it because they met there for the first time, for example. It's a first date. That's
lovely stuff, Oliver. By the way, I didn't know the bits in between the groins were actually numbered.
No, most people don't.
No, that's a learning for lots of us, I think, this morning. Very good. Well, I suppose it makes him easily identifiable then, doesn't it, to like the Coast Guard or the lifeguards?
Exactly. It's the only way we could do this Adopt a Beach. So other people have got Adopt a Beaches around the world, but it's not like this one where you actually have got a section that you can care for. Lovely.
That is very good. Tell us about the festival in May and what the plans are.
So the festival in May is the 14th to the 23rd of May. And the plans are for people, hopefully COVID-19 it will release this even more, but at the moment people can go and walk along the seafront between refill stations. There's going to be a walking app to help them, and there's also an app called Refill which you can download for free, and it will show you where all the refill stations are in the country, but particularly along our seafront. And the idea is to go and find out where these refill stations are and use them. Take a refillable bottle, top it up as you go along each refill station. They're either in places where you can go and ask for a top-up, or they are on pillars, and we're setting one up actually this weekend. And we've got another one coming up on Beachy Head, story up on Beachy Head. On the Downs.
Lovely.
So you walk along and you take photos and you celebrate that. That's one main element. And then we've got a beach clean. The whole beach, again, these 94 beaches are going to be clean on the first Sunday at 10 o'clock, and we're going to have a drone filming the whole event so that we can use that for spreading the word. And then there's other things like supboarding, swimming, beach studies by Marine Conservation Society. They're a charity we work with who's caring for the sea. And other things are being planned too, like, for example, a studio on the beach where artists are going to be doing artwork based on some of the things that have been found in the sea. There's going to be a seaweed survey and a sea safari where they're going to study other things about the beach. So there's a lot of events along the seafront.
Yes,
and we're also going to study, hopefully, the Marine Conservation Zone. There's a 200-kilometre area just off our coast, which is now a protected zone. It's called Beachy Head East. It's a Marine Conservation Zone, and we're hoping that will become a vital part of the life of Eastbourne.
Yeah, and we were talking about the kelp forest yesterday on the show as well, which I imagine you think is very good news, protecting those and getting them to flourish again.
Well, you're probably talking about Beachy Head West, which is over Brighton Way, and Worthing, where there always used to be kelp forests that have been removed.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to establish kelp forests here off our coast too, because they are terrific producers of, absorbers of carbon, and areas for different flora and fauna to establish themselves. We've got rare creatures like a short-nosed seahorse and sea wrasses and mussel beds, which are worthy of protection.
For sure. Oliver, how did you get into this line of campaigning and taking, action rather than teaching? Is that you didn't get the teaching up to do this? It's just something that you took on.
I retired a long time ago. I'm an old man, actually.
Well, if you could start sounding like an old man, that would be a good thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'm a geography teacher all my life. I started teaching in 1969, and since then I've been teaching about sustainability, global warming, for as far as in Australia even. And that developed and developed and developed, and some of the children I used to teach, they're now retired, so I hope they responded in a positive manner. I know some of them did. And then I watched this Blue Planet 2 series by David Attenborough, and that inspired me like it did with millions of others. And I went off and decided to do a weekly beach clean down near Holywell.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Holywell in a minute if I've got a chance. And then somebody said, well, why doesn't somebody make Eastbourne plastic free? And I looked on the internet, and nobody was. So Surfers Against Sewage, that's the other charity that we work with. They organise plastic-free communities around the country. And so I said, how about it? And they said, yeah, you can do it. And so since then, things have just grown. So many hundreds and thousands of people have shown interest and taken action in Eastbourne in all this work.
That's very good to hear. Tell us about Holywell, then. There's a historic tie that's coming back to life.
Oh, Holywell. It's an incredible place. Some people, I'm calling them the keepers of the Holy Well, are clearing. It was all covered in shingle until quite recently, and some devoted volunteers have been down there weeks after weeks, and they are clearing it. It's now a holy well with a pool of water in it, and there's a natural spring coming from the foot of the cliffs. And it used to be a holy well. And in times of medieval time, even before that, Henry II is probably said to have come down to Holywell on his pilgrimage from Southampton to Canterbury when he was trying to atone for his responsibility in the death of Thomas Becket. And it's most likely that he would have taken a little turn down to Holywell and done a little bit of praying down there, and it's a spiritual place. A lot of people come and walk down here and spend a quiet moment in front of this holy well. And so this is sort of one of the first refill stations, if you like, primitive. And so we're going to have a closing ceremony there of some sort. It's going to be on the 23rd. That's after the 17th, which is when there's a release of restrictions. We don't know quite what they're going to be, or even if it's going to be the 17th. But we will at least be socially distanced. But we will have some sort of a spiritual ceremony there to close the festival.
Very good. Lots going on, and congratulations for getting all that together. Oliver Sterno there, community leader for Plastic Free Eastbourne, and that's festival planned for the 14th to the 23rd of May. It's BBC Radio Sussex, just coming up to 10 to 9.
Coming up on today.